The NBA season officially starts in a couple days, so I figured before we jump into a exciting 2025-2026 NBA season, let's take a step back and look at the winners and the losers of this preseason. And to do that, we have an article today from Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report, biggest winners and losers from 2025 NBA free agency. So we're gonna go through this article, just kind of talk about it. And I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot, like the 2025 NBA preseason winding down, real campaign around the corner. Yeah. We know Andy Bailey is a great writer. We've done his articles before on Bleacher Report. Let's freaking go. Number one, there's 9 of them. Okay, winner, Cooper Flagg. Fair enough. Cooper Flagg's basic productions, 11 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, about 3 assists, and about a little over 2 stocks a game. Doesn't leave off the screen, but several individual plays certainly have, from pull-up threes to explosive rim protection and solid playmaking and passing. Yeah. I mean, Cooper Flagg's been really good. Again, he hasn't been one of those guys that's been, like I said, 30-point games and all that kind of big kind of stuff. I don't really know if that's what he's going to be either this year as a rookie. I think, especially with a winning team like the Dallas Mavericks, they're trying to really go far in the playoffs this year, hopefully getting Kyrie Irving back from injury. They're going to need him to fit into a role as a rookie, to be a good defensive player, a guy that can swing the ball, a guy that can score the ball when they need him to, and he's been exactly that. He's looked good as a playmaker. He's looked great as a defender. He's looked good as a scorer, being able to knock down some threes. Like, I think Cooper Flagg has fit in absolutely perfectly with the Mavericks. Now, he's not going to have the big explosive rookie years of like LeBron, like Vic, like they talk about in here. But I think Cooper Flagg's gonna be phenomenal as like a role player. And yeah, obviously you don't want to draft a role player #1 overall, but I think it's gonna be because of fit, not because of talent. I think Cooper Flagg has the ability to be a #1, but early in his career, being able to kind of be a piece of a puzzle right now is going to let him grow, and eventually AD's older, Kyrie's older. In a couple of years when those guys are off the team or like old, Cooper Flagg's gonna be ready to go. Number 2, loser, Lakers fans. Okay, fair enough. The Lakers going 1-4 is a bit of a bummer in itself. Wins and losses don't mean much. Yeah, I really don't care about wins and losses. But the real problem, of course, is the lengthening timeline of LeBron James' recovery from sciatica and like mid-November, like blah, blah, blah. So pretty much just talking about LeBron's like be back till mid-November. Like, what is the timeline of this team? They have Luka, but they have also LeBron. So they want to win now, but they also kind of want to prioritize the future because you have Luka for probably the next 10 years. I mean, yeah, like I guess the team didn't look fantastic last year once they traded for Luka. There was a lot of like growing pains between the two of them. Two different style, I mean, similar style players, but working together on the court at the same time. The roster had a lot of turmoil. DeAndre Ayton hasn't looked fantastic so far. I think this is just kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, LeBron's not gonna be back for a while, but they say mid-November, but potentially could be even longer. Is it like a real possibility that they get off to a really slow start because of that and they make some moves at the deadlines like the Lakers always do? I don't really know if this is like too much right now. I think it's just kind of like, hey, Lakers fans, be wary. I try to move over a little bit so you can, I probably gotta put it here, right? I don't know. There's also a guy mowing, so if you hear the guy mowing, sorry. Number 3, the Houston Rockets. Rockets are 3-0 this preseason, but that's just beginning of the good news. The wing rotation is seemingly scoring at will. Jabari Smith's been phenomenal. Kevin Durant and Amin Thompson are all over 17 points per game, under 26 minutes per game. 8 assists for Alperen Sengun. Yeah, one of the biggest things I think I've noticed so far is like the playmaking of Alperen Sengun. Like, we've all known Alperen Sengun's a good playmaker, especially like for the center position, but he's really been like, they're going to need him to have the ball in his hands a lot this year with the injury to Fred VanVleet, obviously tearing his ACL, but I think he's really taken that like to the chest. He's like, hey, I can do this. Obviously they've been running things with like Alperen running the ball up the court, Amin Thompson running the ball up the court. Obviously Kevin Durant can bring the ball up the court too. There's a lot of different things they're working on, and Jabari Smith is fit in super perfectly. Now, I don't know like starting lineup this year if they're gonna run Durant, Jabari, and Alperen Sengun, or if Jabari's gonna come off the bench. But they could run like an Amin Thompson. You could run like, I mean, you have Dorian Finney-Smith, then Kevin Durant, then Jabari, then Alperen Sengun. That's a really big lineup, but they've looked really good. And obviously, like, the Fred VanVleet injury like definitely means something, and I think it's definitely taken a bit of their hit of like real championship contention, not having that steady point guard. But I'm also not one of those people that fully believes like they're done now. There's no chance to win a championship this year because of the injury to Fred VanVleet. I think this team is still really good, and I think they'll be able to piece it together. Obviously, having one of the best, if not the best, scorers of all time. If you get a big jump from Jabari, Alperen Sengun might push himself into top 5 center talks. Like, this Houston Rockets team is going to be really good. I mean, you have like a 2-3 window with Kevin Durant. He said he wants to retire a Houston Rocket. We've heard it before, so I don't know how much you buy into it, but you have a 2-3 year window. Let's try to push it now. Number 4, the hobbling Grizzlies and 76ers. Joel Embiid did just play this last game, so there's something there. It's hard to pull the issues of 76ers and Memphis Grizzlies apart. Both are relying heavily on players who've been long struggled to stay on the floor. Both have not come close to getting their full roster together for any of this preseason. For Philly, Joel Embiid and Paul George. This is obviously before Paul George, or I'm sorry, Joel Embiid played. Paul George still hasn't played yet. It doesn't be a timeline for either one. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, Jaren's hurt, Ja's hurt, obviously, like, so the Grizzlies, both these teams are dealing with injuries. It's kind of been the story of both these teams for the past couple of years, for the past 2-3 years, for both Philly and Memphis. It's been a lot of injuries going on with Ja, with Jaren, Brandon Clark missing like pretty much most of the last 2 years. Gigi Jackson was like weird last year. Vince Williams Jr. missed a lot of years last year. Obviously, last year, Joel Embiid was out, Paul George was out, Jeremy Kane was out. Like, both these teams have been dealing with a lot of injuries, and it doesn't look like they're really like done. It looks like the injuries are still going to be kind of happening into this season. Like, Jeremy Kane's already hurt again, Paul George is still hurt, Joel Embiid's still hurt, Jaren's hurt, Brandon Clark's hurt again, Ja's hurt. Like, just a lot of injuries for these two teams. And I do think these are two teams that are probably going to look to make big time trades. Maybe not at the trade deadline this year, but next summer maybe. They're going to have to really figure out if Ja Morant's the number one option over there in Memphis. They're going to have to figure out if they fully want to commit to Joel Embiid for this next timeline, or do they really want to kind of buy into the Tyrese Maxey, the Jeremy Kane, the VJ Edgecombe timeline. Number 5 is going to be Kel'el Ware. Okay, there's still a hint of mystery about the starting front court of the Miami Heat. They could go smaller, more perimeter oriented with Jovic and Bam Adebayo. I don't think they're going to do that. Or they could go slide Bam to the forward, start second-year center Kel'el Ware alongside of him. Either way, it looks like 21 big is prime for a breakout. Yeah, I mean, he's looked really good. The thing about Kel'el Ware I'm noticing right now is that, like, you have stretches where, like, oh, this guy's, like, going to be a really good starting center. Then you also have stretches where, like, oh, this guy's definitely, like, still a young player going into his second year. So I don't know if they're going to fully want to commit to this being the front court of the future. Like, right now, not saying I think this will be the front court of the future, but I'm saying they might not want to start them together right now just because of growing pains of Kel'el Ware. Now, last year they did start together with Bam Adebayo at the 4 and Kel'el Ware at the 5, and they looked good in a lot of different minutes. They also, again, there were still the growing pains there of Bam to 4, Kel'el Ware being a rookie last year. But I do think they found a front court of the future. Like, I feel like I've said 3 times now. I just do wonder, like you said, this team's not very good outside of, I mean, Tyler Hero's hurt already. You have Andrew Wiggins, who's, like, fine. You have Bam Adebayo, who's, like, good, but I think has regressed, we'd probably say, a little bit recently. Kel'el Ware, who came off really good as a rookie. So this seems in a really, really weird spot. I think the Jovic experiment, I don't want to say it's done, but I don't know if it's just really going to work out in Miami. I just don't think they're getting what they want out of them. So I might as well start Bam Adebayo at the 4 and Kel'el Ware because, again, I don't know outside of Bam if anybody's really safe on this team. I don't even know if Bam is safe on this team. So, like, I just don't really know what's going on in Miami, so I can't speak about it too much. I haven't really watched much Miami this preseason, if I'm being honest with you. I usually don't touch much in the preseason, but I've been trying to this year. I've just been missing basketball, man. I'm trying to get back into it. I don't know if, like, any Heat fans watch this, let me know what you think of Kel'el Ware and, like, if he should be starting, or you'd rather have Jovic starting at the 4 and Bam at the 5. I'm just not really too tapped in. Number 6, the Sacramento Kings. I mean, yeah, they just signed Russell Westbrook, so shout out Russell Westbrook. I'm a big fan of the guy for his whole career, so, like, I'm happy he's on a team. It's gonna be disgusting. I really don't have to look into it. I know what they're talking about. They bring in Russell Westbrook. You don't really know what you're doing with Levine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, Malik Monk. I don't like this team. They just signed Keegan Murray to, like, what, $28 million a year. And, like, Keegan Murray's fine, but I think we've seen regression out of him the past couple of years. And, like, he's not even healthy to start this season. So I don't know what's going on in Sacramento. They have a lot of different pieces where it's like, he's a fine player. He's a good player. He's cool. Yeah. But when it works together, it is just, like, it's not good. They're actually, like, pretty bad collectively right now. And I think they could still end up making the play-in just because they have Levine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis. I'm really a big fan of Nick Clifford as well. I think he could have a big year for them as well. I mean, Russell Westbrook is going to provide some type of, like, something. I mean, obviously Dennis Schroeder. I forgot about Dennis Schroeder, who's, like, a good player. Like, they're a collection of good players that's going to make the play-in. But, like, this team has, like, zero direction. Like, they have no idea where they're going for the future. Because I don't think outside of Nick Clifford and maybe if you're a Keegan Murray believer, like, who on this team right now do you see being on the team in, like, not even 5 years, maybe like 3 years? Number 7, Victor Wembanyama, who worked with, like, the all parts of, like, Hakeem, Kevin Garnett. He worked with the Shaolin monks they're talking about. Like, he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's looked a bit stronger this year, putting his chest into people. And it's been one thing we've been talking about with Victor Wembanyama for a while. I was like, yeah, he's a really, really skilled, tall player, but will he be able to fill out his body enough to really work with the centers of the NBA? And it looks like he is. He's gotten much stronger. Even, like, you can see it kind of on the court. Like, he's a really lanky guy, so he could be jacked. You're not really going to be able to tell. Some people like to use that metric of, like, how he looks on the court. I think he's super strong this year. I think he's going to be really, really good this year. Obviously, like, he missed the back half of last year with, like, lung issue, I believe, or blood clots. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head what it was. He's going to be great. They're talking about here. I meant right here, MVP candidate. I'm not seeing that from him this year. I think the Spurs are kind of still in a bit of a weird spot with the Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle. I don't really know what you're getting out of Devin Vassell. I don't really know what you're getting out of Keldon Johnson. I don't really know what you're getting out of Jeremy Sohan. I think there's a lot of question marks on this team outside of Victor Wembanyama. I mean, De'Aaron Fox is a good player. Stephon Castle is a good player. Dylan Harper's looked really good in preseason. even guys like Carter Bryant, I think are all really good pieces, but you have to figure out like what is your future, because again, not this year, but I think maybe next offseason, they could end up having to choose between two of those three guards in the Fox, the Castle, and the Dylan Harper. Maybe they've let it go for a little bit more than a year. Maybe they can do 2 or 3 years down the line. I'm not really sure because they just gave De'Aaron Fox that extension. But I do think that they still have a bit to figure out. I mean, like, if they're not going to be a playoff team, which I don't think they're going to be, they might be a play-in team. But the Western Conference is really, really good. Obviously, when you have Vic, you can probably do a lot of stuff. But I don't think if you're not a playoff team, he's going to get MVP consideration. So I don't want to jump, because I feel like a lot of people are starting to go really, really far with Wemby, which is, like, understandable. But, like, I'm also one of those people where it's like, hey, like, I need to see it to believe in. Obviously, we've seen Vic be a phenomenal player, like, arguably a top 10 player in the league. But, like, it needs to be done consistently for, like, another year or two before I'm like, okay, like, this guy is now seriously in MVP talks. Number 8, Nikola Jokic. I'm going to be real with you. I have not watched the Nuggets in preseason. Like, I've not. But let's see here. They fired Calvin Booth, the general manager, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they're just pretty much talking about the front office. And they're talking about the bench, which it's probably one of the best rosters Nikola Jokic has had so far in his career. They bring back Bruce Brown. They bring in Jonas Valanciunas, probably the best backup big man that Jokic has ever had, because it's been DeAndre Jordan for the past however many years. But Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, you have Cam Johnson outside of Michael Porter Jr., who like probably is a little bit more of a net positive playmaker, maybe defender, rebounder, you're losing it, shooter, maybe like pretty similar. And then obviously Aaron Gordon, who's like Mr. Nugget. This team, like, I think looks really, really good. Oh, Tim Hardaway Jr., of course, I just saw his name on there too. Like, I think this team is the best roster that Jokic has had since he's been there. And I have them, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's like Cloud2K_YouTube on Twitter. I put out my season predictions of like the rankings, and I had the Denver Nuggets as the 2 seed in the West. I think, again, the Fred VanVleet injury was enough to bot me down from the Rockets being the 2 seed to the 3 seed, still an elite team. But I do think another year where Jokic maybe comes back and wins the MVP again, they could be a 2 seed. Number 9, the last one, Ace Bailey. After a hit of controversy, including his slide to the 5th overall pick and perceived desire to wind up on a different team, was supposed to be Washington. Apparently, we found that out. Yeah, he's ended up in Utah. Tendonitis in his knees, which I guess isn't great. I'm not really familiar with tendonitis. Is that something that's gonna bother him long term, or is that something like once you deal with, it's gone? I'm not really familiar with tendonitis, so like let me know in the comment section below. It's like, is that something like in 3-4 years it's gonna be like missing a game because of tendonitis in his knee? Like, is this gonna be an issue like going on his career? I don't really even know. Actually, can I look up nope, I can't spell tendonitis. Okay. Is an inflammation of a tendon cord that connects muscle to bones, common condition affecting of all ages. So like, does it say like diagnosis, treatment? I don't know. It doesn't really say how long it like might last for. No idea at all. I don't know. But he has looked really, really good in the minutes he has. We talk about 58%, about 59% from the floor, 41, 42% from 3. I don't think that's going to keep up. He is a volume scorer. But on a team like Utah that really doesn't have anything concrete, I think Bryce Sensabaugh's had some good minutes. You're hoping for a jump from Keontae George. You're hoping, obviously, Walker Kessler is still a good defensive center. But I don't think, Lauri Markkanen is probably not even going to be there at the end of this year. He has a big contract, so maybe they do have to keep him around. But I think Ace Bailey kind of has the ball in his hands to do whatever he wants with the Utah Jazz. And I think a lot of teams are going to regret passing on him because of like the age and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I think he is going to be the 3rd best player in this draft, maybe even 2nd best player in this draft, depending how you feel about Dylan Harper. I think 3rd still. I'm rooting for Ace Bailey. I know the draft stuff was really, really weird and stuff with the agent. He fired the agent. I don't know. We're going to see. I'm rooting for Ace Bailey. Shout out Andy Bailey for that article. I always love doing article reactions. I haven't really put out 2K content recently because I've just been like, basketball's back, man. I'm so focused on basketball. I also did some videos. I'm trying to collab with some other content creators. I'm on their channel, so like go check out their channels. Obviously, like Jacob. I just did a thing with Jacob Blocks and Rebel Renaissance and Super Mario Hoops and stuff like that. I'll be on those channels. So just, check those people out. They're all great content creators. Maybe I want to start doing some stuff on my channel with other content creators. I'm still kind of working on getting into this like basketball commentary space. Again, I've been a 2K YouTuber for the past almost 2 years now, so I'm kind of trying to transition a little bit. I had Shaq up on this shelf right here. I moved him down here. I had Shaq up here. Dude, he freaking broke the shelf. It fell off the wall. So I had to put him down there. Hopefully it doesn't break that one. Try to get a new shelf. I'm going to put the green arrow back up there. There's like the Fortnite burger, Spider-Man, Anthony Edwards dunking on, I don't remember who it is. My girlfriend made this Lego set. Like, I'm working on things. But I do appreciate you guys watching this video today. Please hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. And hey, by the end of the season, I'm hoping we're there. I don't know. But again, I'll see you guys later.